on, y'all. Let's do this thing here. I am Judah Buddha. I am representing the Roto Hackers, your unauthorized source of fantasy football information and entertainment, news and entertainment. I think I was supposed to say. Last week was a difficult week. I want to show you a graphic I just saw that I think explains last week's uh, horrible, absolutely terrifying, disappointing fantasy week. On the right, we have Huntley, I. Davis, P. Ryan, Franklin, Wilson, Heim, Hutchinson. Some of these guys I've never even heard of. If you had started them, you would have gotten 124 points. And instead, if you started Mayfield, Robinson, Bishan Robinson, uh, Christian McCaffrey, Igbuka, Samuel, Ferguson, or Quentin Johnson, you would have had only 30 points. And that's pretty much how I feel. I mean, that's what kind of defines the whole week for me. I did not do well in important leagues, but I did actually do okay in some leagues. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Let's look at a few things. First, let's go to injury. All right, well, we want to look at injuries, so let me go to the list I've brought up here. So the main one, of course, is Cam Scatterboo. I mean, I had to I had to take a deep breath when it happened. Just poor. I mean, yeah, my poor life, my fantasy team, my fantasy hopes. This guy, his whole career hopes down the tube for at least a year. Probably be back. They're saying that it was the same kind of injury that Dak Prescott had, and he's back. He's playing. Of course, he's a quarterback. He doesn't rely so much on the high tension on his ankle. It was an ankle injury, but I think he'll probably be back next year, and it might take him some time to get back to playing form. But I don't think his career is over. He's young. He's a strong guy. They're saying he's already trying to do rehab. So then Barkley was one that came up that sort of flew under the radar. He has a groin. He had a groin pull, but they are on bye this coming up week 9, and so it's people aren't as worried about it. But we'll talk about people to pick up in the waiver wire. Carson Wentz, he's a backup, but it was painful to see him playing. I just found out that the Minnesota Vikings were he's always dreamed of playing on that team, and I think he saw himself as sort of rising and sort of maybe the opportunity to start as a full-time starter, and that was just dashed in a very painful way. His arm had been out of socket the week before, and he had some tears in his shoulder, and he still played. And they let him play. It was ugly. Quinshon Judkins, I think it's a big deal. He has a shoulder sprain, and this is somebody that I think a lot of people were excited to get. Kind of like Cam Scatterboo, were excited to get off of the waiver wire. But let's see. So he's got an AC sprain in his shoulder. His shoulder, let's see, did not return. Browns have a week 9 bye, though, just like Saquon Barkley. And so we'll see. It may be, they say he's week to week. I think it may be something that, shoulders for running backs in particular are sort of a pain management thing where since it's not in their legs, it does, depending on if it's their right or left arm, it may contribute to stuff like what's it called when you get fumbling, may increase fumbling, but if he's able to, kind of get through the pain, maybe take something for the pain, and if it's stable enough. One of the things that is not on here, someone who's not on here, is Bucky. Bucky Irving hurt his shoulder. His shoulder came out of the socket and had a subluxation to where if he doesn't get surgery, so he has to get surgery if it feels like it's going to keep coming out. The stable, it doesn't feel stable. It feels like it's going to come out every time. I mean, that's a crazy feeling and extremely painful. And so if it doesn't, what they call settle down to where the muscles pull in and keep it in the socket, I'm talking about Bucky now, then he will have to get surgery. Will be out for the rest of the season. But, there's a 50-50 chance. I mean, who knows? His muscles could just get better if he gives it plenty of rest and his muscles heal and keep that bone in the socket. He could be fine and play again. Luther Burden III for the Bears. This was somebody who, he might have been a really important waiver wire pickup today, and not going to be because he's in concussion protocol, and probably will not be playing Week 9. Marvin Mims, sort of a breakout player in the last couple of games, also concussion protocol. Drake London with some kind of hip injury. Frustrating for me. I knew that he was game time decision, and I don't know. I have so many leagues that there are many of them I forgot to switch him out, and didn't really have anybody to switch him in. Somebody comparable as Drake London to switch him in, and they really need him. Just on a real game play basis, they suffered not having him. So those are injuries, and we need to talk about the ramifications for the waiver wire. Okay, let me get this presentation off. So, talking about the waiver wire, who are some people that? So the big one, thinking about Cam Scadaboo, is Tracy. What's his name? Tracy. Can't remember his name right now. Why is it escaping my brain as soon as I need it? But the backup for Cam Scadaboo, the guy who was already the starting running back for the Giants. What's that? Tyrone Tracy. I was thinking Tracy was the first name. Tyrone Tracy. Thanks, Asher. That was my son. He gave me I needed him to be on here. Tyrone Tracy will be the starting running back for the Giants, but there is, I don't know, there's problems with going out and spending a bunch of fab on Tyrone. I would be, oh yeah, thank you. Also, Captain Tuna 1. Yeah, Tyrone Tracy. I was thinking Tracy was his first name. Anyhow, what was I saying? It may be that he is a good pickup. He's going to be the starting running back. Captain Tuna says, dude's got some tough matchups coming up. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking this even when I had Scadaboo, was excited for him. But I was thinking he could overcome the bad matchups based on his skill. Tracy's not somebody who has ever really, I don't know if it's because of, I don't know. I don't want to say he's not skilled. He just didn't have the sort of tenacity and the sort of boom that Scadaboom had. And maybe that is just a personal bias. But, I mean, it's not nothing that a rookie overtook, Tracy, his role. But that being said, Tracy's not the only one that you should look at. I mean, if you want to go out and spend a bunch of fab on him, your priority, that makes sense. But Devin Singletary has always been somebody I have admired. He's gotten old though. He's a diminutive, a smaller running back, so he's not going to have the boom, of course. But he's going to be the pass. He's a great pass catching back. He's elusive, and someone like Tracy can see the hole, can hit the hole hard. But I wouldn't be surprised if who did I say? If Devin Singletary becomes a better pickup, just especially in PPR leagues where you get points per reception, because I think he'll be getting more receptions. I think Tracy will be the the 2 down back, the muscle who they give on third down to get that those 2 yards. Anyhow. Who's this? It's been a while. Oh, Liam. Thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, I should have known because of the Bengals will be there. Good to have you back in here, Liam. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have any advice. In fact, would be good as well. Yeah, we miss you in the league. That big league. Okay. The other two that I wanted to talk about, because this is going to be a short, it's a lot of people that we have talked about before. Honestly, I don't think this should be a thing where people are looking for like hidden gems. There are some guys that we just have to trust the process and believe in, even if they have let us down. And for me, there's been quite a few that have let me down, but the one that keeps catching my eye, and maybe I'm an idiot, Brashard Smith. Brashard here, one of the injuries that we didn't talk about didn't come up in the notes, but has come up since I wrote those notes, was the fact that the head running back for the Chiefs, you know him, I know him as Isaiah Pacheco. He left at the end of the game with maybe a bigger injury than people are even talking about. The coach said that he would be out or he said that he'd be week to week, and they don't have a bye coming up. And it turned out that it was a sprained MCL. So it wasn't a torn MCL. That's like in your knee area. You talk about stability and problems for running backs. He's going to have to rest it at least a week, I'm thinking. A sprained MCL? He'd be stupid not to. I'm thinking, but who knows? Maybe he comes back. He has plenty of time this week to rest it, and it heals. But I'm sticking with Brashard. I've been talking about Brashard since week maybe 3. Brashard Smith. I just like his style. I think he's a fast. He's not as big as Isaiah Pacheco, but he's fast and he's elusive, and I think he has really good vision. He used to be a wide receiver. In fact, there's some story surrounding, some lore surrounding him coming to the Chiefs and deciding to be a running back instead of a wide receiver in college. So take it for what it's worth. I'm going out. I'm getting as much Brashard Smith as I can. The other guy that I've talked about since the beginning ad nauseum, and I'm going to continue to bang the drum for him, is go out and get some Bhayshul Tutun. You might say, Judah, you're an idiot. Bhayshul Tutun hasn't done anything till now. He's not going to do anything. He's got ETN ahead of him who's doing great. Well, let me tell you that there's precedent for when teams come out of their bye they start going to their uh, their rookie running backs more often. They make a little bit of a changing of the guard switch, and for for what it's worth, Etienne, he's been good for fantasy, but it hasn't really been getting a lot of yards per um, yak. They say yards per carry. Now Bayshell hasn't either, but he has the potential to be great. I've seen some analysis of Bayshell Tutin that says he is, when it comes to skills, talent, his ability to hit the hole hard and get yards after contact, Bayshell Tutin may be the answer there. Now, he's also been struggling with some injuries off and on, so that may have contributed to the fact that he hasn't really taken the next step. But remember, I told you about Woody Marks, and he is. You're not going to find him on the waiver wire. So Bayshell Tutin. And then the last guy I want to talk about is Ollie Gordon. Now he's not really under the radar. A lot of people saw him do really good and get a touchdown on Sunday. So it's going to be hard to get him. Probably many people already have him. If you are somebody who has what's his name? There I go again. Can't remember names. Achane. If you have Achane with Miami, you really should have Ollie. He is the clear next guy in line. Now the only problem is he's not going to be Achane, but he'll be 80% of him. And the other problem is he's on this like crazy Miami team with who knows if they're going to be terrible or decent from one week to the next. Excuse me. So those are the running backs. Oh, and then there is one more. Sorry, let me get out of the way here. One more that I would like to talk about, and that is Trey Benson. If he is anywhere, he probably isn't. I think he's like 60 to 70% owned. But, I mean, if you're in one of those 30% teams that doesn't have the kind of IR spot, or people that don't really know about the IR spot, this is a guy that you want to go get and put on your IR spot, because the Cardinals went out and they dropped, who is it, Michael Carter. They just went out and dropped Michael Carter. So they are getting ready for Trey Benson to come back, and they're trusting more Bam, the backup to Michael Carter, or Michael Carter and him or Bam were sort of, let me make sure I got this right. It's so this is the Arizona Cardinals I'm talking about. And the running back I'm talking about is Bam Knight, which, what a great name, Bam Knight. But you could go pick him up. I haven't seen him do great. He's kind of an older running back. Zondervan Bam Knight. I don't know. It might be somebody that you take a chance on. Now, you're only going to have him until Trey Benson comes back, which is, I think he's got 2 more weeks because they have a bye. Or no, they just had their bye. So, yeah, there's this week and next week. And so I think he may be able to come back next week. So these are the running backs I'm looking at. I just wanted to come on quick tonight. As you can see, I'm at an undisclosed location, not my normal spot. And I was wondering if anybody had any questions. Let's see. Oh, Captain. Let's see. Liam. Liam says, Kareem Hunt seems enticing with Pacheco out. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Now, Hunt is mostly owned, so it's a little bit harder to get him. And then Smith. And he's been dealing with a little bit of a injury, although he looked great last night. So, yeah, if Hunt is on your waiver wire, go get him for sure. And he is on some waiver wire. So that is all I have for today, unless you guys have any questions. And I don't see any. So sorry, let me get back to my mid-screen here, full screen. Thank you for tuning in. I just wanted to do a little one-hitter and hope that helps with some discussion of some running backs that are maybe on the waiver wire. There's other people to go out and get, but I mean, running backs are really probably who you need right now. If not, leave it in the comments. I'll get back to this video and answer. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.